My name is Adam Baum, and I'm thrilled to be back for another edition of Behind the Jersey, a conversation with 1 and 5. And I'm very pleased to introduce Nancy Miller and give sort of you the stage to tell people a little bit more about who you are, what you do, and why this is such an important cause to you.
I'm glad to be here, Adam. I'm Nancy Miller. I'm the Executive Director of 1 and 5. I started the organization back in 2010 after losing my husband to suicide. And the mission of our organization is that we do work in the mental health prevention space. It's really about normalizing the conversation, teaching people about signs and symptoms, resources, how to have a conversation, and really to normalize that conversation as much as we possibly can. We work with about 130 schools in Cincinnati, and then we also work out in the community and also corporately now. And it's really just teaching people how to interact with people that have a mental illness to make sure that they can get them to the help that they need. This is really important to me because I think that having the youth voice is extremely important. Especially when you have somebody that's on a center stage that people want to pay attention to. I think it's extremely important to talk about mental illness and mental health. It really it normalizes that conversation faster than I can do myself. Yeah. So we're happy to be here, and I look forward to listening to the players again this year and see what they have to say about it.
Yeah, and I think I saw on social media that there's something fun coming up on October 14th. Can you tell us about the Warrior Run?
Sure. The Warrior Run is the initial event that we created. This will be the 14th year that we're doing it. It's on October the 14th. It starts at 5:15 in the afternoon. It's at the Bell Tower in Marymount. The players are going to be there. They're going to be handing out ribbons at the finish line for the youth. So we encourage everybody to come out and be a part of that. It's a great community event. We have great food. We have kids games. It's really a lot of fun.
And as you hinted at, and people can probably tell by our backdrop here, but we are going to have some special guests here coming up, Xavier men's basketball players. So I think, thank you, Nancy, for everything that you do. This is a really cool initiative, and we're going to get to hear from these players why it's so important for them.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. We're going, fellas. All right, so our crew has grown since last year. Last year, Desmond and Jerome both participated in this panel, and now we got 3 new faces, 3 new guys to Xavier basketball. So I figure a good place to start would be, let's just go down the line. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from, tell us your major at Xavier this year.
My name's Abu Osman. From Brooklyn, New York, born and raised, and my major this year is liberal arts. I'm Desmond Claude. I'm a sophomore. I'm business undecided right now. I'm from New Haven, Connecticut.
My name is Davion McKnight. I'm from Shelbyville, Kentucky, and I'm a sports management major.
I'm Jerome Hunter. I'm a liberal arts major, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
I'm Quincy Olivieri. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a grad student studying sports administration.
So the last panel that we had, one of the things that we talked about, sort of a recurring theme that happens in everyone's life, are these big transitions. And, Des and Jerome, you guys got to talk about this already. So maybe for you new guys, all of you arrived at Xavier from some other place. You were a part of a different team last year. You were in different cities. And now you take this big leap to this new place. And that's a big transition for anyone in their life. How do you get through that? How do you manage it? Can you speak to that process of sort of managing what that's like, a big change?
Honestly, coming into it, you got to know that just because it's new doesn't mean that you're going to be like all the way clueless. It's still basketball at the end of the day. That's how I came in, at least, understanding that if you come in just knowing that it's basketball and you come and play hard and you do what you have to do, then you'll be successful anywhere. So I just try to take it like that. I don't really think too hard about any new transitions or anything, because I feel like wherever I am, it's still going to be work. So yeah, I don't think it's hard.
What about you, Javion?
Like the Boo was saying, coming in, it was more of a business decision than, play. I was coming here to put in work and trying to win and make the tournament. I leaned on more of my family, this whole, transition, just listen to them, what they have to say, and just, getting feedback from them, so I like my feedback.
Quincy?
It's pretty much the same thing. I got one last year and, I know my goals coming into this basketball season, talking to my mom a lot, that she was very helpful throughout the transfer process and then we moving in here. So just kind of like talking with her whenever when I did have some negative thoughts and just kind of stand positive, trying to remember why I'm here.
Yeah, Quincy comes to Xavier from Rice,
Yes.
Davion from Western Kentucky, and Abu from North Texas, right? Okay, it was good to have you guys here. You should be fun to see on the floor this year. So part of 1 in 5's mission is to talk about sources of strength. And there are obviously key sources of strength that they encourage those impacted by their organization to lean on. Some are internal, some are external. But as I read these off to you, can you guys tell me a time that you used one of these to help get you through a tough moment in your basketball career? And those are family support, positive friends, mentors, healthy activities, generosity, spirituality, physical strength, and mental health. Anything jump out right off the page?
I would say, family. I feel like my family always been a big part of my life. And right now I'm going through something where I just can't play right now. So it's been really hard for me, and me having my family to back me up has really just helped me through it. They always been there, even from the beginning, when I wasn't good at basketball to the end to playing. So I just feel like that's a big strength for me.
I say spirituality, I'm very big on God. I wear this necklace around my neck every day. I go to church every Sunday and I pray, do for everything, whether good or bad, and secondly, it was definitely family. And, after I prayed, I always kind of like talk to my mom about anything under the sun. And, it always helps me because I know God can help me through anything, and my mom will be there to have my back through anything, so those two definitely, stood out.
Yeah. What about you,
Honestly, going back with these two just said, family, spirituality, me being a Muslim, that's my number one favorite. Then of course back to my family, they're my number one support system. I'll say bad game, good game. Like Jerome said, when I didn't even know how to pick up a basketball properly, shoot, they were there with me. So definitely basketball.
I would say family. I have a very tight circle with everything that I do. So if I'm having a rough moment, or if I just need something to figure out and I'm not clear in the situation, I always lean towards my family. They also help me, with them, playing at the level and at a higher level than just college. So I listen to them and take a lot of shots and listen and
Yeah, family and friends. My friends, they just tell me how it is. Sometimes you just need to get away from basketball. That's where you go hang out with your homies and stuff like that. And family, they just always got your back no matter what. They support you, all decisions you make. They always do everything with.
So all 5 of you guys mentioned family in that response. And I think it's easy to see that those are strong, positive influences in your life. So are there examples of maybe family members or those positive influences using these, and sort of you recognizing that they're using them, and what you learned from those scenarios? I can read these off again to you. So family support, positive friends, mentors, healthy activities, generosity, spirituality, physical health, mental health. So any sort of examples from those people, maybe within your family, that you learned from and using some of those?
For me personally, I have an uncle that actually played basketball. So you look at him as sort of like a mentorship. He's been through it. My bad days, I'll call him. He'll encourage me, whatever I need to hear. Even when I'm complaining a little too much, he'll let me know, like, hey, you know what you're there for. Let's lock back into the goal. So for sure,
Yeah.
I would just say like, from last year, just coming in, obviously not used to the physicality, everything's at a faster pace. But, going back to, my dad and my mom, just listening to them, they've been through it. And, just, keeping me encouraged. And then, also going into this year, just, they, especially my dad, study my game and help me try to get better and improve from last year.
I say my mom, she's just a hardworking woman, so she raised me well. And like no matter what I've done, she's always supported me. I just felt like she backs me on whatever I do, 100%, and it just shows. So my mom. Yeah.
I'll say my mom also too, just because she's been working ever since I was born. So just watching her work every day and going to work even when she's tired, sick, anything like that, it makes me hesitant to complain about things just because she has been through a lot of things. And I have 3 little brothers also, and they all look up to me. And so they see me complaining, I feel like they're gonna try to follow in my footsteps and do the same exact thing. So I just feel like me and my family still, just they all count on me and they all look up to me just so I can show them the right thing.
Lastly, I mean, same as them, my mom, my mom's a breast cancer survivor. She actually almost passed, and during that time, we did a lot of talking to God, and it really showed me that He's very powerful and He can help change your life for the better and in an instant. So just seeing how she leaned on Him and prayed to Him through everything and how she's living now is like, I look up to her and she's a fighter, and I saw how good she is with the Lord, how the Lord is good with her. And I just know that I need to incorporate that in my life.
Yeah. Today, as we record this, you guys, a few hours ago, you just had your first official practice this season. I think, you get like 30 practices in 42 days or something like that before the season starts. So this is obviously a very exciting time. I know you guys are excited. I know Xavier Nation is excited, but let's go down the line here and maybe talk about that excitement. What you're most looking forward to this season.
Honestly, for me, playing at Centos, talking with home, talking with Dez, we always talk about it, like the energy that they felt during the crazy conference games against UConn when they won, being Providence, being, Villanova, stuff at Villanova, I'm just really excited for that. Coming from North Texas, fan support for basketball wasn't, that looked at, and I feel like here is just the flip of the script. So, I'm excited. I'm ready to play.
You didn't even talk about UC. That's going to be done.
Oh, yeah, that's all. Got something.
I'm just excited to be back and improve from last year. I was very fortunate to be a freshman and get to where I was at last year in terms of being in the Big East championship and then getting to the Sweet 16. So hopefully we could, as a team, run it back and possibly get further, win the Big East championship. And but yeah, we're just seeing all the work that we put in, and then now it's it's coming quick. Now it's just 30 practices is gonna go by, and the first game is gonna go, and then after that, now we're rolling. And then just I like how our schedule's looking. We play a lot of really good teams, so that's just what I'm looking for. And then playing with the new guys. And,
I say probably the UC game. I've heard a lot about that game. Watched a few games last year. The game was crazy last year. It's here at Centos, so it should be a very good game and packed game. So that's probably what I'm looking for.
Does you remember anything about the end of that game last year? Anything stand out?
Nah, I don't know we won.
Yeah.
Sue and Kobe, everybody, they all played really good. I was excited, but now it's time to run it back and get another win.
If you don't get that joke, that's had a little
They were not even foul. It was like a 50-50 It was a 50-50.
But the dude made that three.
And he made it. He was hitting the whole game, so it wasn't like it would just be like he was knocked out of his face. It was just.
All right. What do you say?
I'm just excited to see, I mean, my new teammates work. I mean, me and Z not playing this year. I mean, not playing for like the first half of this year is gonna be tough, but just watching them come in, they've been working so hard all summer. Went to the Bahamas and killed, and so I'm just excited to see how they're gonna react when we play against the best teams in the country and get that feeling to win, because winning is always a great feeling. How far we made it last year, I missed that feeling. I can't wait to have that feeling again.
And outside of the crosstown shootout, playing Houston, you know, I come from a school in Houston. We played them a few times, and the one time we should have won was my freshman year. They had Quentin Grimes, and we should have won that game, but you know, kind of getting a rematch and being able to have them here in front of a sold out crowd should be fun.
Yeah, Jerome, you mentioned the Bahamas trip, and that's obviously a unique thing that I think, I forget, maybe once every 4 years, I think programs get to kind of do something like that in the summer. But it was honestly, it was the first time all you new guys got to play together. What was your highlight of that trip?
Honestly, the basketball part was fun, you know, we won, but it was just the bond with these guys. Seeing these guys outside of the practice, the environment, like getting to know them as people. Yeah, seeing how funny Dez can be, or Davey on the cue, you know, just hanging. Honestly, yeah, outside everything outside of basketball.
I mean, that was my first time traveling outside of the US, so just the whole experience itself, you know, playing with the guys and seeing all the work that we put in, and then going out and playing against a whole nother team and see that like it works, like it just means that we trust the process more. And then outside of basketball, just like Boo said, just hanging out with everybody, you know, everybody's funny, we all vibe together, we get together, and we do a lot of fun stuff together. So that was my favorite part of it.
Yeah, like these two were saying, just chilling with the guys and just hanging out, you know, just cutting up and stuff like that. It was a fun trip as a whole. Even with the basketball part, if we take that away, it was still a good trip. So.
Yeah, since I didn't play, I would just have fun, just going to the water park. I just feel like I just couldn't be bored there. Even if I was sitting in my room, I'm like, I can't just be sitting in the hotel room. There's a whole beach outside, so just being around the beach and living that life for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the basketball was definitely fun, but like they said earlier, you could take the basketball out and it was amazing. You know, the casino was fun. You know, we ran into some fun people who kind of got us confused with Penn State, so it was fun to kind of mess with them and act as if we were Penn State, or they act as if we were Save, and you know, it was just fun because like I told Davion after the first game, like I'm glad to finally play with you because I played against him these past few years, and it was just like, you know, that was the guy we had to worry about. So now, like having him on my team is shit. So you know, if we you know, if we be honest, Bryce had Western's number. You know, especially last year, Davion can attest to the matchups. But you know, North Texas and Abu, that was always the matchup I didn't like because they got the ball out my hands and made me a non-factor, and they were very physical and they didn't play fair. So I never liked to play North Texas, but when we did, man, it felt special. So you know, finally having Abu on my team to push the other people around is definitely the most fun part.
I think anytime that you're going into a new season, you have expectations. You have expectations of the team, you have personal expectations. How do you stay in the moment and not let those expectations become too big in your own head?
So, you know, Q could probably attest as well as Davion. You know, all of these guys are old guys. You have to go a day at a time. You don't win a championship on one day. You don't win a championship on championship, you know, Monday or Tuesday. Just learn guys like us continue to tell the younger guys like, hey, every day is an individual day that we have to attack like 100%, or unless we're not gonna get one at the end of the season. So,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree, you know, taking it one day at a time, perfecting what we're doing in that one day, getting better and just focus on it. And focus on the task at hand, and then, you know, everything else will, you know, play out in the end. So just, like Boo said, taking it day by day, getting better, focusing on, you know, what you gotta get better at, focusing on how you can help the team, and, you know, any way, just buying in and just, taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, like Tisha said, just day at a time. You're not gonna win the championship one day, so like every week, just grind each day, grind at practice, keep grinding until postseason comes, and then stay together, locked in, do what you gotta do.
I just feel like it just comes down to winning games at the end of the day, no matter how you do it, or how you get, or how you do during that situation. As long as you win the game, it don't matter if you had a good game or bad game, as long as you still got your team with you and y'all win that game, that's what matters.
Just remember and enjoy and how the game's supposed to be played for fun, you know. And once you start thinking about other reasons and getting sidetracked, you kind of gotta just focus back on why do you play the game, and remember and enjoy, and don't let the expectations blind you from why you're playing the game.
Yeah, we asked this question back in February, the last time we had one of these panels. So Des and Jerome, you guys have already answered, and we'll just focus on you guys. But how do you recognize when you're feeling down, or maybe when you're in a tough spot? I think for high level Division I college athletes, there's a spotlight and really a pressure that comes with what you guys have to do. You know, you got 10,000 people out there in that arena watching your home games. You got a lot more than that watching on TV. There's all these outside pressures. How do you sort of recognize when you're in a tough spot, when you're down, and what's the strategy to work your way out of that? What do you use to find your way out?
So for recognizing it, really it would depend on how I'm playing. I'm probably having a few bad games back to back. But that recognizing part, I feel like not getting into my own head is what helps me. Understanding like, okay, this is my rough patch. Now it's time to probably seek help from like my uncle, my mentor, my parents. Really just like decompromise everything that, you know, all of the negative thoughts that I had. So yeah, just trying to stay positive as best that I can and stay in the right feeling. What I do.
I say for the first part, just doing things I wouldn't do, like uncharacteristic things for me. I feel like that's when I determine if I'm in a slump or something. To get out of it, I usually just, just talk to my family, my friends, and just, try to see what they think, and take it one step back, take a deep breath and attack the next day.
I recognize it when I kind of feel like I'm not having as much fun. I'm not smiling, I'm bringing as much positive energy, and I'm stressing about every little thing. And to kind of like saw that, I just pray, talk to my mom, and she'll probably send me prayers. She'll on the phone start praying for me and stuff, and tell me to do something that makes me happy, whether that's getting on the game or going to go buy some clothes or some shoes, or just something, just get away from basketball, take a day off. And so most of the time that works, I mean, it starts with prayer, ends with prayer.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too, when you talk about, maybe doing something that has nothing to do with basketball. Are there any of those things that any of you other guys like lean on? Like, maybe it's going and getting a workout and taking a walk outside. Like, are there other strategies at play other than continuing to sort of hammer into basketball and almost double down, when maybe you need to pull back?
Kind of like what you said, prayer, of course, just talking to your parents and people, having them suggest things that you probably forgot that you did. Like, you never know, you probably do that for a couple of days. Now your mind and your focus is back on, the goal, the actual goal. That would be the same.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, for me, obviously, talking to my, my parents or fam, my peoples about the situation for like a few minutes, and honestly, just getting off the topic and, trying to focus on something else. For me, sometimes I like to go fishing, clears my mind, it's fun, especially when you're catching a lot of fish and then just going out and doing, other, good, fun things, whether that's shopping or just going to hang out or, just getting away from basketball a little bit, not too much, but enough to be able to like just, distract yourself and then, ease back into it and refocus. And then,
What kind of fish are you going after? Bass?
yeah, bass, I'm a freshwater guy.
Yeah.
I get that, saltwater, so bass, smallmouth, or a little bit of crappie.
Jerome, even though you answered this the last time we had a panel, are there any new ways that maybe you're managing stress or new tactics from the last time we saw?
I don't remember what I said last time, but I got a dog. I didn't have him with me last time, but I got a dog now. Well, I brought him back home and I just take him on a lot of walks, teaching him new tricks. I play the game more than I usually ever have, so just probably just to
Yeah, what kind of dog?
a German Shepherd.
All right, that's cool. We also asked you guys this last time, but how do you give your brain a break? Because I can imagine, I never played Division I college basketball, but I think when something like that occupies so much of your brain power and so much of the real estate in your head, how do you maybe step away from that or take a break from all that stuff?
Finding new hobbies, just finding new things to do. We know basketball is always gonna be here, because we got practice. Just finding new things to do, like that can be walking the dog, playing the game, playing a new game, hanging with the guys, not even talking about basketball, just going out and doing something different that we never tried before. So I think things like that would.
Yeah, but that's the job of fish.
Yeah. Yes.
He's actually done that. He taught me how to fish, and that was really fun. I did catch. I got some pictures, and I was really happy. Like it was my first time fishing, first time catching something. That was pretty cool. But I'm from the south, from the city. I ain't near no water for real. But I mean, outside of playing a game, I love to build Legos. Like back at home, I have like a lot of Legos at home, it really stimulates the mind. And it's just kind of something different. I love to build Legos. I can build Legos all day. And outside of that, playing the game, building Legos, playing the game, and playing blackjack on my phone.
I say probably playing video games. I like fishing, so I'll probably say fishing too.
Little peace and quiet,
Yeah.
solitude.
Playing the game, relaxing, napping, to be honest. That's about it. Yeah, I don't really do too much.
What do you think is the most important thing about being a good teammate?
The most important. The most important thing is just one, understand that everybody's situation and how it's, different. Being able to get along with them and, be very understanding. And then, depending on, who they are, being a lead, whether it's being a leader, talking it out if they're new or even if, returning. But yeah, I would say those are like the most important things and, just being able to bond, with the teammates and make them like you, be likable, and that could go a very long way.
Piggy off of that's also being a guy that's likable, also being a guy that's like accountable, like somebody that people can count on you for. Whether it's like, emotional support, whether it's, basketball, get the rebound, game winning rebound, making the shot. That's all just as important as like that is saying off the court, being able to talk to your teammate, knowing that he's probably younger than you. Maybe you talking to him, fix his whole trajectory of everything, so just those simple conversations, I feel like,
I say just, just being there for somebody, even if it's not on the court, just feeling like you got a friend on the court that got your back, that you'll go to war for. Somebody that, if somebody push you down, who's gonna come and do what he does.
I just, try to remind everybody that we all just got one goal, and that's to win games. At the end of the day, if we win the games, that's gonna boost up everybody's confidence, everybody's, ego, just because Coach always said the accolades come to teams that win games, not just from individual performances. So that just always stuck with me, and I'm just like, that's right. It's just because last year we won, and I feel like everybody got the accolades that they deserve.
Positive energy, I think being positive and bringing joy and happiness everywhere you go just exudes confidence to everybody.
Yeah. We got some rapid fire questions here, so we'll just go down the line. A few of you guys, you're new to the city, you're new to the team, but what was your favorite memory from this summer?
And like he was saying, the Bahamas trip, by far, joining the team activities, for example, the casino, that was really fun, going to the beach, water parks. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I would agree, let's say the Bahamas, I mean, I think it was well deserved, all the work that we have put in, especially because we have a newer team. So going out to the Bahamas and resting and having fun and then playing against, other teams and seeing, what we're doing is really working. That was probably my favorite team, especially first time traveling on Southern. So.
Yeah, probably the Bahamas team. I feel like it was just like this. It's a new team, so it was a place where we got to bond. The team bond and get the chemistry up. So I'll probably say the Bahamas.
I'm gonna agree with Davey on just the Bahamas. We all got the bond, especially having a new team. And
The bond in the Bahamas is cool, but I enjoyed myself in the casino. I ain't even gonna sugarcoat it. I had a lot of fun with them, but I had a lot of fun with the dealer too.
I would also say when we went paintballing.
Yeah.
Team about paintball. Yeah, that was also my first time paintballing. I had a really, I had a lot of fun. Yeah, so it was, fun. Everybody getting out there and just going on there and trying to get each other out. So yeah, it was really fun.
I confirmed earlier, you're all ice cream fans. So what's your favorite, your go-to Raiders flavor?
Cookies and cream. Yeah, I would say cookies.
It's chocolate chip.
All right.
it's a chocolate chip cookie though.
Alright, so I get a large milkshake. I go cookies and cream, salted caramel, ice cream, butter pecan ice cream, peanut butter chocolate chip ice cream. I think, and I get like 3 others. Put it all in one,
that's good.
and I just drink it. I'm a big milkshake guy, and I gotta put some nuts in there.
That's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
What's one thing you want to do in Cincinnati but haven't yet?
I'd probably say go to the Bengals game. Yeah,
They're finding their form.
same.
They got a virtual reality spot here in Cincinnati called Sandbox VR, and I've been wanting to go there for long. So one day I'm gonna go there.
I'll probably say go to a Reds game. I've never been to a Reds game. So I'm gonna keep wanting to do that.
Yeah. Let's see.
I don't even know for real.
There's got
I guess a Bengals game. I want to go to a NFL playoff game. Being a Falcons fan, I don't really got too much of them.
That'll be hard. The Bengals make it this season. You're still gonna be playing basketball game. It might work out.
Maybe, who knows?
Um, somewhere you haven't had the chance to travel yet, but would like to in the future?
For me, I'll probably say Spain.
I would say Spain or Italy, you know, those two, maybe, maybe Sweden, a little bit, a little bit.
Go visit, Big Jack over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Maybe
I'll probably say Italy too. That's somewhere I just wanted to, go, so.
I'm gonna say Cali just because Sule, I had Sule as a teammate last year.
Oh, yeah.
He talked highly about it, so I'm gonna go there and see what it's like.
Turks and Caicos, for sure. I definitely want to go there, just for the aesthetic.
Yeah, they probably got good casinos too there.
Oh, I mean, we talking casinos. November, they gonna see me.
All right, so we'll wrap this up with a very important question, because the whole point of this is to talk about reducing the stigma around mental health. I think it's something that everyone, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, you have to deal with it at some point in your life. What does that mean to you to reduce the mental health stigma?
For me personally, I think as a basketball player, I feel like it's not talked about enough. And us just really keep having conversations like this, we just continue to open those doors for everybody to, be informed about, what mental health and like the help you can get. So I feel like as we continue doing stuff like this,
Yeah. I would agree, with what Bruce said. As athletes, I don't think it's talked about a lot. And, I think it's important for, everybody to realize that, that's an issue that's going on now. Another thing is that for athletes, it's okay to speak up, what's going on in life, mental health and everything, and, that you should get, the right help. And just talking it up sometimes, it's be a good solution, but, yeah, it will mean a lot, and, it's definitely not talked about a lot, but it's okay for people to know that.
I feel like, everyone's different, like, everyone goes through things and it's okay if you're not okay. So, just talking to the right people and just being open about it. Don't feel like you're being judged or nothing like that. So just like talking.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just be open about it. It's really a big thing nowadays. There's a lot of people that want to help, so I feel like if you're more open about it, you're gonna get the most help that you can get.
Definitely, it means a lot to me. My sophomore year, I had a friend who committed suicide and would have been perfectly fine from the outside, spread a lot of positive energy. But I remember when I got that call, it broke me because nobody would have ever seen it happen. So just being able to spread awareness and educate people so they don't have to deal with that pain, definitely.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. But I do want to thank you five guys for being a part of this. Obviously, it's really important to Nancy to see young guys like yourselves who have a voice, who have a platform, who want to speak out and be a part of this conversation. So I know it means a lot to her, and I know that there's going to be a lot of people who watch this and might help them. So I think that it's honorable that you guys are open to talking about it. So we appreciate you making the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Got it.